Okay, what's up, Taurus? What is up? What is up? What is up? I'm gonna really try to tap into my divine feminine as a Taurus moon. But anywho, yes, we're gonna talk about it today, Taurus. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty today, Taurus. We're gonna be doing some of this live here. I just felt the need to jump on with this energy today because I feel like the Taurus collective is really channeling the understanding and the awareness that says the thoughts I think today are pre-paving my future. And I saw this kind of in a couple different ways, which could have led to like the way that you arrived at that understanding. Like maybe it was through radical, lack of motivation. Maybe it came through I see like a lot of stored energy, so maybe not being as free flowing, not really letting things release. I mean, I get it, Taurus, you are fixed earth. It's like, just note that every thought that you think that is directed towards what you want for your future is of great benefit to you. And I think that that's been your guiding light through this sort of dark period. Like whether you're someone who's acknowledging that you still are just waking up to the scope or the depth of the situation that you find yourself in, or if you're someone who's coming out of it and experience is now starting to really ground down and manifest a fifth dimensional, higher dimensional experience, it's so important that that your internal gauge, it says every thought that you think that is directed toward what you want for your future is of great benefit to you. Because I know that I've been making a lot of, I think the Taurus Collective can resonate with a lot of like long-term investments and things like that, which on the flip side, like if you haven't really been making accommodations for long-term investments, like think about the opportunities that we miss, you know what I mean? So every thought that you are also thinking about your future that you do not want is a disadvantage to you. And I think we've been seeing that, right? I've been feeling like the Taurus Collective has been really understanding like social rejection. And I think it just came back karmically from times when that Empress energy is exclusive or materialistic, so low vibrational, right? So every thought that you are thinking about your future that you do not want is a disadvantage to you. And I think we started to feel that at a root chakra space. We started to really understand how we would lose people's attention when we kept coming from that place of talking about what we didn't want for our future. Like we couldn't be doing the same thing. Something really had to change with Taurus. You see what I mean? Whether thinking of vitality and health or decline and disease, you are pre-paving your future. And so regardless, it's just important for, I think, some of us Taurus to really get on board and understand like that some of our shallowness that can come from low vibration really also doesn't prepare us in the long run to be true empresses, which is to harvest year round, which is life is continued work, you know what I mean? You're putting in to maintain all of this and then to thrive under the conditions that are always ever changing. So when you're pre-paving your future with all of this short fuel, it's like putting $5 of gas in every like 16 hours in your car, you know what I mean? It's one method of doing things, but are you really going to save, more money? So just thinking about how you're pre-paving your future, and I think Taurus is understanding that it is of more value for you to do things that will actually genuinely put you in a better place than acting from a space that will actually put you at a disadvantage. So I think that those, especially if that's what you want. So that's a beautiful message there for Taurus. But let's get some beautiful shamanic healing, because Taurus has very much been on a shamanic journey as well, healing through that, and we kind of just like walk with and amongst that energy, because that is our second house. That is the healing that's really needed, right? All right, we're going to go with this one. Grounding 36. As humans, our bodies are of the earth. It is a natural inclination when we experience uncomfortable emotions or energy to ground it out, much in the way a ground wire works with electrical current. However, with so much in our modern lives that causes us to be disconnected from Creator, we tend to gravitate towards false grounding. Overeating, smoking, drinking, and recreational drugs are common ways some try to ground. These items are of the earth, but they are not the earth. This is not a true grounding, and as such, it cannot sustain. it doesn't last. Do you see how Spirit came in? Because was I not just talking about how you put $5 in your gas tank and how far does that get you versus like what, I mean, with the price of gas right now, I mean, it's kind of a shady like analogy, but truly it's so funny that Spirit comes in and says like, some of us also were making yes, Taurus, we have to get into it. We have to talk about the superficiality of hiding behind drinking, smoking, recreational drugs. Like how are we actually, because you can't fake the connection to source, because I think what you have now come to the awareness of is that like you were at times perhaps directly pre-paving a future that was taking you away from your true source. So you weren't sustaining. It doesn't last. And that's why you were seeing people around you were coming up to you being like, this isn't going to last, or this won't last, or you even felt the internal like sense of like, this is not going to last for me. What ends up happening is that, as with most experiences that are false, we need more and more to achieve the same result. And some of y'all really needed to hear that this is that Saturn retrograde is going to take you back to that experience, take you back to perhaps that red flag that you should have paid more attention to, that thing that you blew off, that Spirit was trying to really connect with you through. Spirit's going to take you right back there, because you're looking at how much more you're going to have to continue to do. It's not sustainable, right? So, and I think that the recreational drugs is a great analogy to the smoke and mirrors that I think a lot of the Taurus collective has been like living through. Because I think you're really starting to realize, Taurus, like you're only as far as you are connected to your source, because you have such source energy. So to truly ground and connect to both the earth and creator, practice consciously connecting your energy to the earth. You should not be getting your energy outside yourself, but directly from the divine. This is achieved through meditation. You can't hide it anymore, because like I think Taurus has been getting socially better at, blending in regards to the procrastination and the low vibration and laziness. But Spirit's like, I still see you. I still see how lazy you are when it comes to doing the work of your soul, that soul maintenance work that just would develop your character. Because Taurus, you can have it all. If you deprive yourself of it. You deprive yourself of it. Not going into the meditation, the energy work, and the mindfulness is the literal direct link from why you don't have everything that you really, really want. Find a way that works for you and practice it. By drawing this card, you are being asked to look at areas in your life where you may be employing false grounding as a coping mechanism. Some Tauruses had to give up the jig, bro. Like, if you didn't get hip to giving up the jig, bro, it's not fooling anyone, because the more time that goes, the more you're gonna just have to put into this, and you're not getting enough. It's unsustainable. But let's get this little message here for Taurus. Wow. Come on, stubborn bull. But that's what I get. This has to do with your God strength. This is the justice. This is the karma. I feel like the intensity of this time let's break this down. So Taurus, first we get strength, God's strength, and there's just a lot of like solar Leon energy, right? Like it's taken a lot, it's cultivated a lot of strength. And I think we were trying to impress the past. We were trying to keep entertaining the past with just continued grandeur strokes of strength. But when you make a personality out of taming the lion and bringing people to new heights and chauffeuring them a whole new life, you realize that you're doing that what you get from that, what's the justice that you really get from that? And I think it's the Knight of Pentacles going the opposite direction. You know what I mean? Like holding yourself up. Like the thing is it stops your actual flow of abundance, because the image, the way you look to these people, to this energy, is really like, is really like, it's never going to be anything more than maybe pretty vases, flowers and vases. It's like, you don't want that whole energy to just be about, you know, excuse me, I'm just like wigging out. But yeah, you don't want your whole energy to just be about how you look to certain energies like this, you know? Because in all actuality, you deserve more than that. You deserve more than that. Because to keep this attention, they're going to just eventually see you do it all. And this has to just really do with connecting to your source and not to taming the beast. Because even though it is cool to be able to tame this lion, like, she could also go get like a different hobby that doesn't involve like domesticating like wild animals, you know what I mean? So I just feel like there's justice coming around that situation, whichever way that lands for you. I know Lady Justice when it comes to your strength, but I think understanding that the facade of needing to look like something to these two people, it doesn't matter, because you realize it ain't nothing. But if the conversation is, well, it's great if you mean the world to like one person, you know, but you mean nothing to yourself, you know? So it's about, if you want to move forward, if you want the offer of stability to really come into you, right? You're going to have to stop, think about how your thoughts are pre-paving. So what are you focusing on? The tower, clearly, you know? So we got this, Taurus, 11/18. Thank you, guys.